That is more of something I think is a character trait is integrity. Integrity is huge. I think it's something that every single person needs for a successful journey, whether it's in life or just the workforce. I think integrity is something that one thing that people really notice about someone. Uh, Again, integrity comes in all different forms, shapes, colors, sizes, jobs. You have to have integrity whether you're in the police field or education, or whether it's in medicine or whatever, in, engineering. Integrity is all over the place, and if you don't have integrity, you really don't have like that trust between people. This picture's kind of exaggerating a little bit, but someone who knows that's right is right. They're going to say it. If someone has a gun to your head and says, 2 + 2 is 5, tell me what it is. Me personally, I would say 4. I mean, I would say 5. But, if you have like that strong integrity, you'll say 4 because you know it's right. Back in 2011, Penn State was caught in one of the worst stories in history of sports and just in college in general. It wasn't on the field, it was more off the field, but it had to do with someone on the football team or, more than one person. Jerry Sandusky was an assistant coach for Penn State at the time. And Penn State at the time was, its dominant football program. Jerry Sandusky had a program called the Second Mile, which helped like underprivileged kids, younger kids, kids with certain problems. And even though the scandal broke out in November 2011, it's reported that he started in the 1970s, and there's 52 accounts of child molestation. Joe Paterno was head coach football at the time. He was a man loved by all. He was a man of the people. You go to Happy Valley, it's a small town, and there's really nothing to do there besides football. So you kind of go there, you go, oh, how's Joe? And someone will say, yeah, Joe's doing good or whatever. However, word on the street was Joe Paterno had an idea that the events were occurring, but didn't really want to say anything because everything was going so smooth and great for Penn State football, which everyone agrees is something, it's wrong. Overall, and because people started questioning his integrity and what happened, they ultimately fired him, and he had a famous statue outside the stadium that I was able to see before and after. I have a friend who plays football there now, and it's kind of weird seeing that this empty space there. But people took it down because whether you liked him or not, what he did was wrong. And even though he did a lot of good for people, it takes only one little slip up, and it wasn't a little slip up; it was a pretty serious deal. Again, ethical dilemmas or integrity, you want to make sure that you have them forever. You want to make sure that you have strong principles of them. Something like that is carried on with you, and you could use it in any field, wherever you are in life. So I'm going to hand this off to Lauren, and she's going to continue this off.
I'm Lauren, and I'm here to talk about our final topic today regarding ethics, fairness, and justice. So, in a major code of ethics, responsibility, respect, and honesty, along with fairness, is any major part of the code of ethics. It's the quality of making judgments that are free from any discrimination whatsoever. So, when employees in an organization feel disgruntled, they feel like they aren't being treated fairly, so their performance could suffer, and they could retaliate against management or other employees. And this causes many employees to feel frustrated, and worker productivity could decrease. This can occur when something as simple as another employee gets a raise or a promotion over you. You feel that maybe you should have gotten it before them and feel that this is very unfair. So in talking about fairness, you must also talk about justice. Justice and fairness go hand in hand, and justice is all about the overall fairness of a situation and fighting for the impartiality of the situation. So there's 3 types of justice in an organization. There's procedural justice, which is the fairness of how disputes are handled and how resources are fairly allocated. There is interactional justice, which is the quality of interpersonal treatment that the employees receive when procedures are applied and distributed. And then there's distributive justice, which also goes hand in hand with equity theory, which states that employees judge fairness on the input they receive compared to the output they receive back. So employees want an equal amount from their employer given to them in relation to the efforts they put into their job. So one quote that sums up fairness in an organization is by psychologist Deborah Ruff, and she says, employees seem to have a universal concern for fairness that transcends the self.
I know.
And employees want themselves and others to have the same benefits and opportunities, so there's a level playing field.
Okay, you're good.
Good?
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, really, thank you guys. On your name tents, please write today's activity. It's a double activity. You're writing test questions for the finals, so write test questions twice. I already did it for everybody that's presenting today. Turn those in on your way out.